Deshatari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So good morning everyone. We continue reading from Canto 7 of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 15. We are hearing the instructions by Narad Muni to Yudhishthir Maharaj. Instructions for civilized human beings. Does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
Hare Krishna. We read that meditation is always done on Paramatma in the heart and not on any void. And that's the real way. And we need to understand that what kind of yoga we should do in this Kali Yuga. We are doing the Sankirtan Yagya, and the devotee is the highest yogi. And all the rules are to support us to remember always that remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Everything is just to always make us remember Krishna. So devotee always remembers Krishna, and Krishna is saying that all this for us to remember and always think of me, Manmana Bhagavad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. And the process of Sankirtan is given to us in Kali Yuga, as meditation is not practical in this time. And we also read that we can never become desireless. So we need to understand that what to desire. And as we are internally conscious, we have desires. And if intelligence take control from mind and fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, then mind naturally becomes peaceful. And Lord Kapila Dev also says that mind can be peaceful only by serving the lotus feet of Krishna and remember Krishna. And a pure devotee, whole center is around Krishna and he is peaceful. And then you always said, and then we also read about that the three things that if a person remembers that Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the best friend of all, and Krishna is the only enjoyer, then he or she will be peaceful. And complete peace of mind only comes by serving Krishna.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We enjoy together with Krishna. So he's the supreme enjoyer. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Then we also read that how the sannyasis, they should not be in the bodily consciousness. They should have already been above the bodily conscious, not discriminating depending on the brahmana or rich or poor. So he needs to be equal to all living entities. Okay, then going today's verse. Grahasthasya kriyatyago.
Grahastasya kriyatyago.
Vratatyago vatorapi.
Vratatyago vatorapi.
Tapasvino grama seva.
Tapasvino grama seva.
Bhikshur indriya lolata.
Bhikshur indriya lolata.
Ashramapasadahi ete.
Ashramaspasadahi
Khalva ashrama vidambana.
Khalu ashrama vidambana.
Deva maya vimudhamstan.
Deva maya vimudhamstan.
Upekshetanukampaya.
Upeksheta anukampaya.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It is abominable for a person living in the Grahastha ashram to give up the regulative principles, for a brahmachari not to follow the brahmachari vows while living under the care of the Guru, for a vanaprasth to live in the village and engage in so-called social activities, or for a sannyasi to be addicted to sense gratification. One who acts in this way is to be considered the lowest renegade. Such a pretender is bewildered by the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should either reject him from any position or, taking compassion upon him, teach him, if possible, to resume his original position. Narad Muni is saying that whatever ashram one is in, one needs to do the duty of that ashram. And either we should reject that person or we should teach him again to do his duty properly. We have repeatedly stressed that human culture does not begin unless one takes to the principle of Varna Sharma Dharma. Although Grahast life is a concession for the enjoyment of sex, one cannot enjoy sex without following the rules and regulations of householder life. Furthermore, as already instructed, a brahmachari must live under the care of the guru. Brahmachari gurukule vasandanto guror hitam. If a brahmachari does not live under the care of the guru, if a vanaprasth engages in ordinary activities, or if a sannyasi is greedy and eats meat, eggs, and all kinds of nonsense for the satisfaction of his tongue, he is a cheater and should immediately be rejected as unimportant. Such persons should be shown compassion, and if one has sufficient strength, one should teach them to stop them from following the wrong path in life. Otherwise, one should reject them and pay them no attention. So the idea is, if you can change them, you change them. If one is strong enough, change them. If no, then just don't bother. Don't think too much about it. Pay no attention. So don't engage your mind in thinking about them. Okay. Atmanam ched vijaniyat
Atmanam ched
Atmanam
vijaniyat
vijaniyat
param jnana duta shaya
param
param
jnanadutta
jnanaduta
shayah
ashayah
kim icchan kasya va hetor.
kim
kim
icchan kasya va
kim
hetu
icchan kasya vahetu
Deham pushnati lampatah.
deham
deham pushnati
pushnati
lampatah
lampatah.
The human form of body is meant for understanding the self and the Supreme Self, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, both of whom are transcendentally situated. If both of them can be understood when one is purified by advanced knowledge, for what reason and for whom does a foolish, greedy person maintain the body for sense gratification? So now Narad Muni is telling us what is the goal of this human body? Understanding self and Supreme Self. Supreme Self is God. Both are transcendental. Of course, everyone in this material world is interested in maintaining the body for sense gratification. But by cultivating knowledge, one should gradually understand that the body is not the self. So we are thinking we are the body, and that's why we want to enjoy more and more sense gratification. But now we have to give up sense gratification. We have to understand who we truly are. So what is the method here? Prabhupada is saying, how? By?
cultivating knowledge.
Yeah, by cultivating knowledge. That's right. Even few days ago we read Narad Muni was saying that we can give up illusion by reading the scriptures. So when we are reading scriptures, we are cultivating knowledge. So both the soul and the super soul are transcendental to the material world. This is to be understood in the human form of life, especially when one takes sannyas. So now the soul is inside the body. Does it mean that the soul has become material?
No, it's always spiritual.
That's right. Yeah. And the Paramatma is also inside our body. So does it mean that he has become material?
No.
No, that's right. Always transcendental,
Transcendental.
always spiritual. Yeah. The example can be given, no? Like there's a gold ring, we have a gold ring, and then it falls into the sewer. It may get covered with the dirt, but if we wash it off, the gold will again shine. So that is our position. We are the soul. We have fallen in this material world. We get covered by this material modes of nature. But once we are purified, again, we can shine again. So, a sannyasi, one who has understood the self, should be engaged in elevating the self and associating with the super self. So, the super soul, Paramatma, is there in our heart. He's been waiting for us to turn toward him. Katha Upanishad says, right, that there are two birds in a tree. One bird is busy eating the fruits of the tree, and the other bird, his friend, is waiting patiently. When are you going to notice me? When are you going to know that I'm sitting here next to you? So that friend who's waiting patiently is the super soul. Suridam Sarvabhutanam. Best friend of all, best well-wisher of all living entity. He's there right, sitting right next to us in our heart, waiting for us to establish our relationship with him. Our Krishna consciousness movement is meant for elevating the living being for promotion back home, back to Godhead. Seeking such elevation is one's duty in the human form of life. Unless one performs this duty, why should one maintain the body? Especially for sannyasi, not only maintains the body by ordinary means, but does everything to maintain the body, including even eating meat and other abominable things. He must be a lampata, a greedy person, simply engaged in sense gratification. A sannyasi must specifically remove himself from the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, which disturb one as long as one is not fully aware that the body is separate from the soul. So here Narad Muni is giving the instructions specifically relating to the sannyasi, that what are his duties? His duty is to understand that I am the soul and I have a relationship with the super soul. And for this reason, the body needs to be maintained. Otherwise, there is no reason to maintain the body. Narad Muni is saying, what is the use of maintaining the body only for sense gratification? Okay, the body is meant that we need to maintain our body, keep it nice and fit and healthy, so that we can engage in devotional service, revive our relationship with Krishna, and go back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Ahu shariram ratham indriyani
Ahu shariram ratandriyani
ayan abhishun mana indriyesham
Ayan abhishun mana indriyesha
vartmani matra dishanam cha sutam
Vatmani matra dishanam chasuta
Sattvam brahadbanduram isha shrishtam.
Sattvam brahadbanduram isha shrishtam.
Transcendentalists who are advanced in knowledge compare the body, which is made by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to a chariot. The senses are like the horses. The mind, the master of the senses, is like the reins. The objects of the senses are the destinations. Intelligence is the chariot driver, and consciousness, which spreads throughout the body, is the cause of bondage in this material world. Yeah, Narad Muni is describing, in Bhagavad Gita we've seen, right? The chariot, horses are there,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And the
Yes. Yeah.
reins is the mind. Yeah, Narad Muni is very clearly saying this. Okay, let's read. So the Upanishads as this description. For a bewildered person in the materialistic way of life, the body, the mind, and the senses, which are engaged in sense gratification, are the cause of bondage to repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. So, what is the cause of bondage? Here is writing.
Body, mind, and senses.
Yeah.
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but for one who is advanced in spiritual knowledge, the same body, senses, and mind are the cause of liberation. So, like a tool, right? A knife is a tool. Knife in the hands of a wrong person, very dangerous. Knife in the hands of a surgeon, very useful. Body, human body, we need to know how to use it then. This is confirmed in the Katha Upanishad 1.3, 3 to 4, 9 as follows. Atmanam ratinam vidhi, shariram ratham evacha, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, manaprakraham evacha, indriyani hayan ahur, visham vishayam steshu gocharan, swadvana param apnoti, tad vishno paramam padam. So this is in the Katha Upanishad. The soul is the occupant of the chariot of the body, of which the driver is the intelligence. The mind is the determination to reach the destination. The senses are the horses, and the sense objects are also included in that activity. Thus, one can reach the destination, Vishnu, who is Paramam Padam, the supreme goal of life. In conditioned life, the consciousness in the body is the cause of bondage. But the same consciousness, when transformed into Krishna consciousness, becomes the cause for one's returning home back to Godhead. So now let's see. The soul is who in this chariot? Who's the soul?
The occupant.
Occupant.
Yeah, he's the occupant. He's the passenger. This chariot is a machine, like a car, chariot. So he's the occupant. And then who's the driver?
Intelligence.
Intelligence is the driver. And what is mind?
Determination to reach the destination.
Yeah, mind, determination. Narad Muni said, first we have to be determined. Set the goal. Ambarish Maharaj, first he fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. And then all his senses, he used them, engaged them in the service of Krishna. Okay. And the senses, what are
Horses.
they? Horses. Senses are the horses, they're driving us here and there. And the horses, what are they looking for? The senses, what are they looking for?
Sense objects.
Yeah. The senses are always drawn to the sense objects. The eyes want to see some form. The tongue wants to taste something. So the consciousness, now our consciousness is contaminated. But when the same consciousness is purified, then you can go home back to Godhead. Cheto darpana marjanam. When we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, then the dust on the mirror of the mind gets cleansed. Means our consciousness becomes clean. Our consciousness now has become covered. So we need to clean that consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna. The human body therefore may be used in two ways: for going to the darkest regions of ignorance or for going forward, back home, back to Godhead. To go back to Godhead, the path is Mahat Seva, to accept the self-realized spiritual master. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. Does anyone remember who said this? Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. We read it in the fifth canto. Lord Rishabdev says this to his sons. He's giving them the instructions. And he says that serve the Mahatmas, By serving the Mahatmas, Mahat Sevam, what happens? Dwaram, the door, Ahur Vimukte, the door to liberation is opened. For liberation, one should accept the direction of authorized devotees who can actually endure one with perfect knowledge. So we serve the pure devotees because they have the pure knowledge and they can give us this pure knowledge. On the other hand, Tamodvaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam, if one wants to go to the darkest regions of material existence, one may continue to associate with persons who are attached to women. Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. The word Yoshit means woman. Persons who are too materialistic are attached to women. So, association, in the morning we were speaking, right? The power of association. How important is the correct association? Where do we want to go? Birds of a feather flock together. All these sayings are there. So, we follow some people because we want to be like them. So we follow them. So who should we actually follow? We should actually follow the devotees, follow the instructions of the Mahajans, follow the instruction of the pure devotee. Because they are on the liberated platform. So by following them, we will also get liberated. It is said, therefore, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Ratham Evacha. The body is just like a chariot or car in which one may go anywhere. One may drive well, or else one may drive whimsically, in which case it is quite possible that he may have an accident and fall into a ditch. In other words, if one takes directions from the experienced spiritual master, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, one may return to the cycle of birth and death. So, following the words of the spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is liberated, so he can give us liberation. Therefore, Krishna personally advises, Ashraddha dhana purusha dharma syasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartamani. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. Bhagavad Gita 9.3. So Krishna is saying, have faith in what I'm speaking. If we don't have faith, then we are going to continue in this material world. Have faith in devotional service. Have faith in the authorized representative of Krishna. We have faith in so many things. We have so much faith in so many different things. Somebody says, okay, I give you insurance. I give you warranty. And we have faith that they are going to do their part. We need to have implicit faith in both Guru and Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, personally gives instructions on how one can return home back to Godhead. But if one does not care to listen to his instructions, the result will be that one will never go back to Godhead, but will continue life in this in this miserable condition of repeated birth and death in material existence. Mrityu samsara vartamani. So by following Krishna's instructions, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Have faith in Krishna's words. The advice of experienced transcendentalists, therefore, is that the body be fully engaged for achieving the ultimate goal of life, Swartha Gatim. So the body be engaged fully for achieving ultimate goal of life. What are some of the ways we can use the body in service of Krishna?
We can use the legs by doing the parikrama and going to the temple. We can use the hands for clapping for Krishna and serving, doing things for Krishna. Then we can use the eyes to take the darshan of the beautiful deities. And we can use the mouth to eat. We can use the whole body of bowing down to Krishna, giving obeisances to Krishna. And we can use the mouth to eat the prasadam and sing for Krishna bhajans. We can use the ears to hear the Hari Katha. And yeah, if anything else I've left, we can use the head to put the tilak of Krishna, neck for wearing the kanthi mala, and whole of the body we can decorate with the tilaks, the 12 tilaks of Krishna with the gopi chandan.
Yes, very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Did anyone else have any? Very good, thank you.
We can use the legs to go to the temple,
Mhm.
places of worship.
Yeah,
Yeah, and do Sankirtan, like more and more.
Sankirtan.
Yeah, Sankirtan.
Yeah,
And association with like Mahatma or devotees, like that.
yeah. Associate with the devotees. Yeah.
Mhm.
You can use the mind in always thinking about Krishna. Engage your mind in thinking of me, Krishna saying. Not easy. Can try. Mm. Krishna says that one who studies this sacred conversation of ours, he says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, worships me by his intelligence. So by studying Bhagavad Gita, we can use our intelligence to worship Krishna. Yes, thank you.
We use our intelligence for the right purpose.
What is the right purpose?
Yeah, to engage in devotional service, always remember Krishna.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you. The real interest or goal of life is to return home back to Godhead. To enable one to fulfill this purpose, there are so many Vedic literatures, including Vedanta Sutra, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and the Ramayana. One should take lessons from these Vedic literatures and learn how to practice Nivriti Marg. Then one's life will be perfect. Nivriti Marg is path towards liberation. The body is important as long as it has consciousness. Without consciousness, the body is merely a lump of matter. Therefore, to return home back to Godhead, one must change his consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness. One's consciousness is the cause of material bondage. But if this consciousness is purified by Bhakti Yoga, one can then understand the falsity of his upadhi, his designations. What are the designations?
I am Indian. I am a mother.
Yes.
I am Hindu.
Yes. That's right. These are designations. Indian, American, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, and so on. I'm mother, I'm woman. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. Narad Pancharatra. As the Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. One must forget these are designations and use this consciousness only for the service of Krishna. So what is a correct designation then? We are thinking, I am woman, I am mother, I am this, I am so many I ams we have. Now, what is the actual
Eternal
designation
servant.
we should have? Huh?
We are the eternal servants of Krishna.
Yes, that's right. That I'm eternal servant of Krishna. That is the correct designation. Therefore, if one takes advantage of the Krishna consciousness movement, his life is certainly successful. Okay. Comments, questions?
so easy, no? But we are just making it complicated. How nicely, and everything is so easily put together for us
Yeah.
to just climb slowly and nicely and just serve him. Just remember him. He has made it so simple. Just remember me every time. Because I remember last week, I just happened to pass by the jamun tree, and in Taiwan, I've never seen it before. And I felt so happy. I couldn't pluck even a single jamun from the tree, but it is so powerful what we are learning that in my mind, I could offer it all to Krishna.
Mm.
I didn't need to have the jamun in my hand. Imagine the power of this. Like I could just offer all the beautiful flowers what I saw to Krishna. When I'm going to the vegetable market, I can offer every vegetable to Krishna. Maybe I'm buying it or not buying it, doesn't matter, but I can still offer it to Krishna. That is the magic, that is the power. And like I'm talking about myself, I didn't knew it before. Only by association.
Nice. Nice. But now, when you said that you're going vegetable market, offering all the vegetables to Krishna, in the early days, I heard this from a devotee. In the early days, what the devotees were doing, they would go to the supermarket and say, "Okay, Krishna, I offer this full supermarket to you." But then, of course, we also have to, you know, do the offering in a nice way. That because then the devotee was saying, "Oh, that means we want Krishna to open the packets by himself and, you know, do those things." Then it's just on a lighter note, right?
Sorry, I got disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
missed, yeah, what you were saying. Yeah.
okay. No, I said on a lighter note, there was one devotee who was saying that when devotees earlier on in the movement, when they would go to the supermarket, they would say, "Krishna, I offer the full supermarket to you." Then, then the devotee was saying, "Oh, that means we want Krishna to open the packets himself."
Wow, so beautiful.
So we also, you know, but I get what you mean. It's like nice
Yeah,
emotion
like,
too. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, because
It's nice to offer
like,
flowers to Krishna, fruits to
yeah,
Krishna.
flowers.
Yes,
Yes.
very good.
Because
I'm
Adi
just
Gadadhar
saying
Prabhu
on
said
a
that,
lighter note.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
just
no, but we should know. Because, I've seen Bhavna ji. Like,
uh,
I used to offer the banana just like that. And she said, Neha, let's peel the banana, cut, and then offer it. The
yeah,
rest you can offer, but one banana we should peel and keep it. So
yeah,
I'm getting what you're saying, but somehow when we see beautiful things that we have not seen,
yeah.
and even if that click to us in that moment, if Krishna clicks to us, I think it's
It's
done.
it's very good.
If he
Yeah,
doesn't click, then we are the same materialistic person.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's
We are
Yeah,
connecting
trying.
to
If
the
he
thing.
doesn't
We
click,
are
we are still
remembering
the same
Krishna.
materialistic
yeah,
person.
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
Yeah.
true.
I
if
It's true.
totally
he
agree.
clicks, if
I
he
do.
clicks in that moment of that beauty, because when I went, I also saw beautiful lotus flowers. I cannot pluck it in
Yeah.
the pond, no, but I can remember that, wow, Yamuna ji,
Mm,
Yamuna Nadi, can you please offer it to Krishna on my behalf? I cannot, because you are Yamuna, any river body. Because Amrendra Prabhu always say that you are reading this in Bhagavatam, everything, right, about Krishna, his stories. But how are you putting it practically? How are in your real life? When you're seeing any pond, it is, you just imagine, you have to remember, wow, Yamuna Devi. It's so dear to Krishna. If you remember that in your mind, you are changing your conscious, and we have to change our conscious. We have to relate everything to Krishna. We have to think about him every time.
Very good. Yes, that's right.
Last week, we were having Guru Janam, and if we have taken the aarti in the morning, we have to prepare the flowers for the temple and the mala for Guru. So it's lots of flowers that we need to buy, and I had to go to the market to buy the flowers. And in the flower market, the biggest flower market is in Nehu. It has all kinds of flowers, even some which are imported. And then I saw, wow, this flower is also there. This flower, every time I was seeing new kind of flower there, I was like, I can bring this for Krishna. And I was like, wow, so many of them. And I was just amazed at how Neha was also saying the same thing when I saw the jamun tree. I was just looking at it smilingly. The same thing happened with me. I was looking at that flower and I was looking at it and I was thinking of, I want to take these flowers also for Krishna. All of these, I mean, they were imported from Thailand and, other places. I was like, wow, I've never seen these flowers. And that store had all the imported flowers, orange roses, purple, you know, all those different shining things on the flowers, different kinds of flowers. I was like, I want to take this for my home to put it next to Krishna. And Kartik month was going on. So usually I just pluck it from the garden, one of the flower which is there. It's just a regular flower. But then when I was there, I was feeling I did take one for Krishna, which I offered even in IIT. But when we see something different and it's beautiful and we've been doing it regularly, you really feel like, okay, I want to bring this for Krishna. This really happens very often, very often.
Very
When
good.
we cook something special also, we feel like, oh, I wish I could cook this without onions sometime next time, and then I can offer it for Krishna. This happens so many times.
Very good.
uh, yeah,
Very good. Very nice.
yeah.
Keep it up. Very good.
Yeah, thanks.
And yeah, as you were saying, Neha, when we see, yeah, it's very true, like we are going through, like there's a lot of trees someplace, looks like kind of a small forest area to remember Vrindavan, remember Jamuna. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not even this, like sometimes when we also see some really intelligent and a beautiful person, and I really wonder that, wow, Krishna, it's your mercy, right? Even in an individual, if that individual is really intelligent or he has something like an art form that he has mastered, but that's the gift of Krishna he or she has.
Yes, yes, of course. Very, very true. Krishna says, I'm the intelligence of the intelligent, I'm the ability in man. Yeah.
So it
Yes.
feels so good that if you can connect everything to him, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm slowly progressing. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but yeah, mostly you can connect.
Very good. Very
So
good.
just on a very easy baby steps, maybe not that good, but yeah. So, but that's the point that, like what this purport is saying. That's what we
Yes.
are reading
Yes.
again and again and again.
That's
And
right.
somehow it will stick to us, somehow.
Yeah. It's true. It will. It will.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Actually, I used to offer Krishna without, like I cook without garlic and onion at my home. But sometimes, like it happens, some vegetables you need to make it more tasty. तो मैं जब बनाती हूँ ना, that time I remember, oh, Krishna, I cannot offer this because I am putting garlic and onion in my vegetable. I'm very sorry. ऐसे करके मैं बोलती हूँ. And the taste was so bad. बनने के बाद सब्जी लगती है कि मतलब इससे अच्छा कि मैं ऐसे ही बनाती. और मतलब कहीं ना कहीं मुझे जरूर जलता है. मतलब इट्स 100% श्योर. तो मैं बोलती हूँ कि ओ यू डोंट लाइक दैट आई कुक ऑनियन एंड गार्लिक एट माय होम. ऐसे करके मतलब इन अनदर वे आई रिमेम्बर कृष्णा कि मतलब मैं गलती कर रही हूँ बट सॉरी बिकॉज आई नीड इट. आई वांट टू मोर मेक इट मोर टेस्टी लाइक दैट. तो खाना तो बहुत ही खराब बनता है, बहुत खराब. कहीं या तो जल जाएगा, समथिंग हैपेंड, या कुछ नमक ज्यादा हो जाएगा, या मतलब समथिंग very very unusual thing happened. तो ये मेरे साथ अक्सर होता है, अक्सर जब भी मैं बनाती हूँ ये गार्लिक ऑनियन के साथ। जैसे कभी होता है ना, कोई आ गया, somebody has came to your home, you want to serve some delicious food, तो हमको ऐसा लगता है, मतलब मैं ऐसा सोचती हूँ कि if I put garlic and onion it will be more delicious. And Chinese people, they like Indian food, so I need to prepare it more nicely and more sincerely, but the food was so bad. और ये मैं मतलब पिछले 2-3 साल से महसूस कर रही हूँ. Before it was not happened actually, but from last 2-3 years I'm feeling these all things also.
तो इनफैक्ट अगर आप एक्चुअली फ्रेंड्स के लिए बना रहे हो ना, तो
हाँ,
कृष्णा को भोग लगा के प्रसाद बनाइए तो और
बनाती हूँ,
ज्यादा। हाँ
बनाती हूँ, मतलब अगर छोले बनाया तो 2 टाइप का बनाया, एक विदाउट गार्लिक
हाँ
ऑनियन एंड वन, बट इवन दॉट देन the
हाँ।
garlic onion vegetable was not so tasty. ये अक्सर हो रहा है, मैं तो अपने बच्चों को बोलती हूँ कि क्या हो गया, मुझे एकदम कोई चीज अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, मतलब आई रियलाइज दिस थिंग्स, और ये मुझे जलता है, जरूर जलता है, 100% मुझे कहीं ना कहीं लगता है।
So that means it's a signal that yeah, food with onion garlic doesn't taste good.
Yeah, I don't know, but then I
Yeah,
say,
that's
Krishna,
what.
why are you not interrupting the people who are eating non-vegetarian? I am only eating garlic and onion. How come it possible every time you did this thing with me? मतलब मैं ये चीज ऐसे याद करके, जैसे बोल रही है ना कि मैंने जामुन देखा, फ्लावर देखा, बट मैं जब ऑनियन गार्लिक बनाती हूँ तब मैं ये सोचती हूँ।
तो कृष्णा
Yeah,
सिग्नल दे रहे हैं ना आपको।
yeah. कि आप छोड़ दो अभी onion garlic.
ऑलमोस्ट इट्स ऑलमोस्ट नील इन माई होम इवन, मतलब हम
Yes.
बाय भी नहीं करते हैं, वेरी रेयर, वेरी
Yeah.
रेयर, बट जब भी ये होता है तो दैट हैपेंड विथ मी, एंड इट वाज मतलब रियल, ऐसा नहीं है कि दिस इज आई एम टेलिंग लाई और समथिंग स्टोरी। और मुझे जलता ही जलता है, कहीं ना कहीं चटका लगे या फिर ऑयल आके ऊपर लग गया या हाथ कहीं चिपक गया कप ये बर्तन में, इस तरह से मतलब आई कैन नॉट एक्सप्लेन। और मैं बोलती हूँ कि वो, और मैं कृष्णा को जाके बोलती हूँ, हो आप नहीं चाहते हो ना मैं बनाऊं ऐसे, मैं देखो अगर आप खा सकते हो तो आप खा लो, लेकिन मैं क्या करूं, मुझे बनाना
वो
है।
अभी
ऐसे
आपको बोल रहे हो, आप वैसे भी ऑलमोस्ट छोड़ दिया, अभी बिल्कुल ही छोड़ दो।
I know.
समटाइम्स ना बच्चे भी चाहते हैं कि मतलब मम्मी थोड़ा ऐसा बना दो, वैसे बना दो, तो ऑलमोस्ट आई हैव लेफ्ट, बट होता है ना, हमने तो बहुत दिन खाया अब जाके छोड़ा है, तो बच्चों को मतलब टेस्ट तो कुछ पता होना चाहिए ना, और इनको बाहर रहना है, तो अगर मैं अपने जैसा बना दूंगी तो कैसे करेंगे। तो मैं नॉनवेज तो खैर शुरू से नहीं खाते विनेवर, बट गार्लिक ऑनियन भी ऑलमोस्ट मेरा पिछले 2016 ऑनवर्ड्स इट वाज, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट आई लेफ्ट, बट फिर भी समटाइम्स लाइक मे बी मंथ वन और लाइक दैट, बट ये होता है मेरे साथ, आई रियलाइज दिस, कि वो सब्जी बहुत, मैं सोचती हूँ कि बहुत अच्छा बने, बट वो बहुत खराब बनता है, या तो नमक बहुत हो जाएगा या तो ऑयली बहुत हो जाएगा, मतलब समथिंग हैपेंड वेरी बैड। तो मैं बट याद करती हूँ, वो उस समय भी मैं याद करती हूँ, अरे
You know,
मैंने,
Shivaji, in this, Ratna, I feel that we are very fortunate. At least we are born vegetarian. सोचो आप जो
या
vegetarian भी नहीं है उनका क्या होगा, सोचो।
तो वही मैं बोलती हूँ कृष्णा को कि मैं प्याज खा रही हूँ तो आप ऐसे मुझे कर दिए, जला दिए, और जो इतना मार मार के सब खा रहे हैं, भगवान उनको देखो ना प्लीज।
नहीं, आप वो नहीं बोल
पर
सकते कि
कृष्णा,
उनको देखो।
नहीं
वी
पर
कैन नॉट
कृष्णा जिससे अभी कृष्णा के आप कृष्णा के पास आइए, कृष्णा नहीं छोड़ेगा। You know,
हाँ
once you come to Krishna, Krishna never leaves you. Actually, I have to
हाँ
rush out now. Y'all can
ओके ओके या
continue.
हरे
Yeah, y'all can
कैन
continue.
कैन
आपके
ओके,
वी से
ऊपर
द हरे
है।
कृष्णा क्विकली, कैन
Yes.
वी से
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा हरे
Krishna, Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare,
Hare
हरे
Ram,
Hare
राम
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
राम
Ram
Hare
राम
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Hare
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare,
Hare Ram,
हरे
Hare
Hare
राम
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare.
हरे। और
श्रीमद्
रचना
भागवतम की
प्रे कर
जय, श्री
सकती हो,
प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर
जय
भक्त